All right, we are in another episode, and sure enough, we have another battle. So this is the one that I think was teased at the end of the last episode, and here we are. So we're on the Fredericksburg map, good map, and we have a ways to go. So we're gonna end up. Well, we'll see where they deploy, but we know that our objective is pretty deep in the woods. They're a couple ways in. It's not quite Fredericksburg, or Fredericksburg. My goodness, it is Fredericksburg. I say it's not quite Chancellorsville, but we'll see. It's heavily wooded. So I'm gonna put you on pause. We're gonna do the whole deployment thing, and then when there's some action to show you, I'll bring you back for that. Right. So this was a battle that started late in the day, and we actually made quite a bit of progress here in the last 3.5, 4 hours, something like that. But we've made some contact down here. And I knew that they were down here. We'd found them down here when this Cav kind of ran through, did a drive-by. And yeah, we saw them lined up over here. And then we have just Cavalry over here. They clearly see what's going on. Longstreet just entered. For me, at least, kind of at the wrong end of the map. Let's see here. But, oh, we're on 2x. That's why everything is so fast. So, that's okay. I think the plan was to get everybody in position and then kind of just handle it with brigade level orders from there. But I guess that'll still be the plan. But there's not a whole lot of other action going on. We're about to go to the overnight. The question is going to be whether and how much I can move forward. I'm trying to send Stort back here, and I ordered Longstreet up, but I think he just moves. The HQ just moves way too slow, and the idea was to try to like bubble deploy Longstreet's almost 15,000 forward. My guess is they're going to show up late in the day, and that's kind of the way it is. So, not a huge deal. We've actually fallen behind, and it's not really because of the victory point. They have 2 points from objectives, but a lot of it's, I think their morale just improved more than mine did. Oh, no. Well, that was fun. Yeah, I did not mean to click that, but I did. So I don't think we're going to get to deploy forward anyways. So it's kind of just like, you know, how much do you want to go in without Longstreet there? So the answer is not too much. So I think I'm going to throw you back on pause. We're probably going to posture a little bit. I don't think in the end, since we are going to wait for Longstreet, I don't think it's going to be a huge delay. But they are going to get a bunch of victory points, and that means that this is going to be probably a more vicious slog for both sides than it otherwise might be. All right, so it took, I don't know, about 3 hours or so, but we got more than 2/3 of our force, I would say, is where it ought to be. So GIS Corps, and it's, who is it? Cable? No. Pickett's Corps? Yeah. And so they're in position. It's just we're waiting on Longstreet, and I don't know that the unit that, or the corps that was started the furthest away is going to make it, although they actually look like they might. Or at least a lot of the infantry has made it surprisingly far, considering they started back there and they're up to here already. This is Pickett's cavalry. We've put them behind. Right now, we're just kind of in this counter bat duel. We have the 2 batteries up here. I don't know how they're doing, but I gave them counter battery orders while everybody else is kind of just, all the infantry is kind of just hanging out. I don't know that it's having much of an effect. I think the overall casualties were pretty close. Yeah, they haven't moved all that much. And I think a lot of that was just overnight desertions. So, not too much to worry about there. I was a little bit worried because I think the AI and the Union are taking 30 pounders, 20 pounder, 30 pounder. And so those things will hurt. The hope is that we have some numbers and we're up close enough. I'm sending just cavalry. You can see that I've moved them up through the woods here. And again, I don't know if this is just that they're concealed. I don't think they are, but the AI ought to be reacting to this. I mean, there is clearly, right? There's clearly activity over here. They should be able to see that. I can see that. And why those brigades and in that division, this is probably a corps here, haven't turned to meet that threat. It's one of my long frustrations. It's that specifically, is that the AI on defense just does not react quickly. In the AI, I'm pretty sure always knows where your troops are, and that's, you know, that. All right, fine. But the reaction for it, and I have experimented over the years trying to figure out how to tune this in, I think it's battle prefs, and no luck. But anyways, the idea was to send the cav up here to harass some of that artillery. All right, I think I managed to save you from the cough in your ear there, but yeah, that was the idea, and that should help us win the counter battery duel. Their artillery doesn't have us on a huge clock right now. This is not promising, though it might not be the worst thing. I mean, it is kind of looking like it's cutting off the retreat, and it is. We might be able to stay there and fight them, but if we can just draw them back away from this other force, and we're drawing them to us generally, or at least for those brigades that were, Alcorn has been beating feet this whole time. Those brigades that are wise enough to take the roads, Cobb is in rough shape, but that means that I think it's just a division here, and it might just be one or two divisions here. So I'm thinking, now that they're fairly far back, we switch. I think we can turn everybody here to attack, and we'll give some time for that order to go through and see what the AI makes of it. And if these guys don't get out, and it looks like they may not, then we'll just put them in loose formation, and we'll just skirmish. And honestly, against those size brigades, I think we should be able to hold up for a while. Wow, it's the Clark, and the Clark with an E under Albert City Johnston's leadership. Who'd think it? This is also, well, not that, but Longstreet's corps is also the one. I think we've seen it before with Lee as his division commander. So, oh, and now they're. That's not cool. Huh. So that was probably just regular counterbat. I don't think my cavalry got in there. But we'll move them up there. I guess regardless, I've detached. No, we don't want to do that. So we got to do it by division here. I detached my artillery. Maxie, I know, is waiting on a brigade that for whatever reason, Preston thought he could come down here and cross, and he couldn't, and so he was just stuck the whole time, and Maxie was next to him, so it was like, well, this is silly, but it should be Heth. But anyways, we'll move them up to pursue. Hopefully they're all getting in an aggressive stance. We're going to move you all down here. Okay, so move you like that. Alright, when we are moving back, that's good. Yeah, it's really odd how we plan on all this linking up. I think we're going to send Anderson his one tiny little large cav regiment we'll send over there. Are we mounted up here? We are. And I actually thought, as positions go, this was not terrible. Right? Because the AI, it had a fair amount of open ground in front of it. It's, you know, this is the heavily wooded part of the Fredericksburg map. And so, yeah, this was a concern, but they at least have the high ground. They could also put themselves in the forest. I think they're outnumbered. I don't know that it was badly well, it is badly outnumbered now that Longstreet's here. Assuming that those numbers are correct, it's pretty badly outnumbered. All right, so the Clark brothers will get there, and maybe we'll have Alcorn post up at about that time. Okay. So are we? Okay, so they were not mounted. Well, let's just mount them up at this point. All right, and they have received an attack, the kind of attack stance. So move it down to 1x. And this is just one of the few things when I leave the AI on, it does not dismount loose formation cavalry well. It'll usually dismount them, which by itself is frequently pointless. And you see, like, the AI does this stuff when you give them attack. I think eventually they're going to be like, no, wait, we don't have to do that. But they do this kind of like weird reformation thing off to the side that makes no sense. One of the reasons why I don't usually love doing this. Smith's division. All right. Cables. No, that's what I meant to do. I mean, if you're going to deal with skirmishers, the way is to just charge them, but... no idea why they think they would need to move there. Alright, I guess we get to watch now. That's good. That's fine. Interesting. Sturt has told them both to put out skirmishers and to charge. Okay. Skirmishers would have been wise here in the woods, but... And I mean, this is... I've said this in other videos. This is great by the AI. It's a great counter to cavalry being OP. So I wonder if we can do the thing that I've always been saying the AI should do to my skirmishers, which is just mount up and charge. Yeah, we're gonna get Last Samurai though. Alright, but the idea is I was trying to not melee, but that didn't work. So we're probably gonna lose that cav bit. Maybe that's why the AI doesn't do it. It's terrible. Huh. Huh. Since the artillery's probably not included in all this, we'll try to remember to move them up manually. Okay, what else am I gonna do while everybody's running through the woods here? Featherston... Wasn't he the division? No. Oh, he's over here. Okay. Oh, that's right. It's Albert Sidney Johnston. Yes. So weird. Huh. Wonder why they did that. And while the AI is doing this, they seem... I don't know, maybe they're just trying to fight their way through the roadblock here. Alright, they're having none of it. They're having none of it. Alright. The AI is taking control. Well, they're in trouble. Who knows what's going on up there? Alright, looks like we're starting to arrive here. Yeah, no doubt they lost. maybe it's time. Oh. I was going to say just give the assault order, because it doesn't make sense to stand here and slug it out with these guys. We're just losing time. No. Huh. I can't change Stuart's stance. That's odd. Oh, I guess they ordered themselves a charge. Or, I don't know. They look like they're charging, and they look like they're ready to shoot, so. George Anderson took 53 casualties in a 2,600 man brigade and broke uh... So I'm reading a book on the maps of Chickamauga. I just finished the 3rd Earl Hess book. This one was on logistics. The other one was on supply and strategy. And I think I mentioned on here I looked at the one. I didn't look at it. I read the one on field artillery. So this is a non-Earl Hess book, but maps of Chickamauga is interesting, and this kind of feels like, I don't know, the heavily wooded area kind of feels like that. We're not over by Fredericksburg, even though we're on that map. Yeah, that was only a matter of time. I'll say that that's my fault. I did something with it in modding. I'll say that. So Julius is going to charge in. All right, that's what they've ordered. That was not me. I'm not as concerned. I mean, there's one more brigade over here. You can send Julius to deal with that, but Truex is on the ropes. I guess we can give the different orders at the corps level. I mean, I'm okay with that. Picket. There you are. Watch Julius charge into the wrong brigade, but maybe it'll work anyways. Yeah, it's looking good. Doesn't look like the casualties went up too much when we went in, so that's okay. Something is going nuts here. Forgot all about that battery. I didn't really think they were ever going to make it to the battlefield. I don't know what these brigades are doing. I mean, if you're not going to retreat, get in the woods, man. Hey, don't stand out in the middle of an open field surrounded by the woods. And if that artillery made it, we can probably get other artillery to make it too. Considering a lot of my infantry seemed lost. All right. I guess it kind of worked. I mean, we're just feeding brigades in piecemeal here. Alright. Daniel, I'll suggest that as a more fruitful target. Oh no, that's how we're gonna do it? There you go. Probably a wiser move, and helps that you have support from Greer. Probably helps a lot. Probably doesn't help that they're moonwalking into you. Fighting must be, yeah, right outside. And now they're in a walking backwards competition with each other. What can you say? Alright. It's the AI retreating. I'm not that interested to hang around and watch how this goes. I'll be interested to see the final casualties, if we came out somewhat far ahead or not. All right. So for them, it's 800 kills, so it's like 2,300 out of the war. For me, it's 620, definitely out of the war, and then some amount of that 1,000 missing and wounded that we won't get back. But yeah, it's probably at least a 2-to-1 win, which is, yeah, it's okay. And I guess, you know, if any of that isn't okay, at least on the strategic map, they should be withdrawing here. So I think it's this second corps that just lost. You can see, though, that even though we're usually... What is it now? Where is this? Cooper's Corps? And who's engaging him? Oh, isn't he over here? 27,000 against 20,000. I'm gonna say no. My guess is I'm probably gonna have to do that a few more times, but there's nothing over there we really... Yeah, Evans' Corps is down in the red. Like, we've pretty much lost just about all of our strategic mobility here. Okay, let me make this clear. We're just going to try to retreat rather than pressing this every 4 seconds. Projects. We were close to propaganda in the previous episode of the one before. I guess we're even closer, but we're not quite there. Recruitment offices. Yeah, that'll be nice. How are we on? Yeah, 18,000 volunteers, but I think they're mostly, yeah, it's from Indian Territory and West Virginia, and everything else is pretty much zeroed out. So, that's fun. Alright, I seem to recall out here, there is a campaign for Carrollton. We'll send you up there. How ready is Price? Price is actually pretty ready. Okay. Oh, Sibley. That's right, and over here we won, but we, again, pretty much lost all of our ability to move. Colquitt's here, and he can move, and he shouldn't. He's got a lot bearing down on him. I think Georgia, we have some mobility, right? Yeah, it's a question of where are they actually. So we haven't lost Augusta. We haven't lost Macon. Alright, nobody else is using the rails. Alright. I might be totally wrong about this, but if they're going to try to get out of here, let's try to fight them. I'm trying to think of how they're going to get out of here. Okay, you can move back. Situation here looks okay, so let's move up to Carrollton. Let's take you out of scouting real quick, just in case Reynolds ends up getting engaged here. You can come in a little bit more. I think he just did. But did we not get out in time? So this is very odd. Very odd. But it's one I think I'm gonna fight. And I think the idea is, if there actually is a 200-man army, I think I'm just gonna try to rout that before the reinforcements arrive. And that might be enough to secure the win, so we'll see. So there is a very good chance I'm not gonna fight this battle. For whatever reason, when I'm on this map, it seems to generate a lot of victory points, which I like, and I'm trying to get more of. And if there's ever a map where you don't, where you want to, like, not be on the clock, this is not it. This is a great map to defend. The Union starts out with 35 victory points in 4 places. So it says that they have 60,000 troops. If that's true, I'm just going to withdraw. If they're, and I think it is true. I think they kind of teleported in probably all their reinforcements, because it just does this weird thing where I guess if you don't have enough troops, it just brings in the next largest force, and allows you to kind of get the battle started that way, which I guess makes sense, because a lot of time, stupidly, HQs are the first ones to get engaged, but they can't fight, so you got to bring in the next force. This was just a very small 250 Man force, so I have no idea what that was. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. But I think this is probably just about to be an ordered retreat and the end of the Carrollton campaign, I guess. Way more than 250 troops. So we're gonna withdraw. Let's see here. Retreat. Yep. And that'll be that. All right. 75 men captured. Worth it for the risk. Okay, so you should fall back. Oh, you should too, but doesn't look like you're going to. Price, you keep doing you, man. National morale's down another tick. Did we get? We did get national. We got 1 tick of national support back. Yeah, it's the best looking outlook we've seen in a long time. This makes it so August 12th. So this is relatively recent. All right, let's bring Hall back and see what's up here. I think engaging West Virginia militia makes the most sense, right? This is 23,000. It's a sizable force. I mean, he could probably do it on his own, but you know, if you can get overwhelming force, you probably should. I think these were supposed to go up. Try to do something about the blockading squadrons up here. I'm not sure it's really going to matter, but we will try. Okay, that's that. Cooper has certainly retreated. No question. Okay, we'll move Pickett back. Just try to correct that supply situation. Alright, we're going to take Hall out of scouting. Mini can stay in scouting and push. I'm still not really sure that there's anything over there. 30,000 plains rifles. Okay, I don't... West Virginia militia's here. Alright. Okay, let's fall back here. Let's fall back here. Usually this song, I feel like it plays in April or May, but it never plays when I think it should play, which is November, December. All right. Cooper finally took a break. That's great. Yeah, and we just are sitting around with a bunch of terrible readiness, so there's no more no more riveting campaign play than watching units try to regain readiness. Dawned on me, I adjusted the volume in anticipation of battle, and then I never adjusted it back. Alright, so West Virginia is well and truly not mine. doesn't look good because they have, yeah, a number of ironclad monitors, ironclad gunboats. Those are all very good counters to the cottonclads. Is the Corpus Christi Squadron, is Savannah Squadron going to help? I want to. Again, we're defending, so time should be on our side. Alright, they've fallen back there. Take you out of scouting. No? Just... Alright, so we won this battle. Dude, our national morale is tanking. And I guess there was another fleet behind that, or another, yeah. We got no corresponding lift in our support for the 2 points of national morale we've lost, so I don't know what that's about. I'm guessing, yeah, disaster in the Atlantic sounds about right. What is this now? So, I would fight this, right? Not in this episode, but we'll take a look at the battlefield. We should win the reinforcement race, it looks like, by at least a half day. Let's see what we get. Interesting. It's a meeting engagement. I don't know if y'all see those effects. Looks like the looking down from the heavens of the light. So it looks like they're gonna come in from here, here, could be here. But Hawes looks like he has a pretty good chance. Yeah, and I hate that it kind of feels like it's corner camping, but I think this is a fairly strong position. In part because it's kind of corner camp. There's not a lot you can do about that. But if you, especially as the Union's going to come in, if you try to come in over the road, right, you're coming in over open ground. There's some defenses there already. Coming through the marsh, you get stuck in it, right? Same is true up here. So I guess maybe you take the road and then try to push slowly through there. But we're starting with both of our forces. Yeah, and they're only starting with one. All right, so yeah, we know what's coming up in the next episode, and this could be a good one. I don't know if I can game it quite, that I could wipe this whole force, both corps, and just get everything out of Georgia so that I can take these two corps and move them up into Tennessee, and then hopefully the Hill brothers there will get their readiness back, and we can also get them active in Tennessee. And yeah, five corps active there would definitely make me feel better when I see what we got staring across the border there in Kentucky. So anyways, quite a bit took place. We actually made some progress. I don't think we got through a month, but we made some progress in campaign, and we clearly have more to go. I'm a little nervous about this national morale drop. I was really optimistic after we got the rise, I think, thanks to emancipation. I think that was what the Union took. That helped us out on the national morale front, but Yeah, it's going to be close. We will see.